being a photographer, you really get into it. So like it's such a rich culture, as you know, East LA, South Central, all everywhere. And it's like, and it builds such a dope human being. Like the LA person, to me, the LA resident, you know what I mean, is a deep person. But at the same time, the LA resident will probably see a death within, from 1 to 18. They're probably going to see a death or a shooting. You know what I mean? I know my daughter living in this small town next to my city will probably never experience even a major fight.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
kind of want that, but then what is it? Then they're kind of not the real world, you know? So I don't know. It's like, how do
In a
you balance?
bubble. Yeah, it's I mean, there's a you have to, yeah, it's a balance, like I don't my kids don't live in LA. Like I don't live in LA now. I live in LA adjacent. I moved up a little bit, but because I the same thing, like I didn't even really want them, like they go to a small school in a small neighborhood that's predominantly Asian, and I like that because like the kids are rough, man. Like they're just on a whole nother level, and the environment is just so much different. And I feel like it's keeping them younger mentally when they're not going to be exposed to like that roughness so quickly. Not that I want them to be soft because I'm not soft, like,
I know
but
it's hard.
it's I definitely like I want to just keep them, keep them young as long as they can because it's hard. Like when you have to see those things and then to explain them as a parent, and sometimes it's like I don't even know how to give those answers. Like
Yeah.
why people live on, like my son's so sensitive to homeless people. He'll be like, Mom, if I had money I'd give it to all the homeless people. And like to me I'm like I ain't giving them my money.
And on top
Like
of that, like they're the ones like when I lived on 6th Street, I didn't worry about 18th Street that was on that street. Shout out to Colombianos. But I didn't worry about them. I knew that I was worried about the alcoholic, the drunk, the homeless drunk person, and the homeless. So the other part about it is that they can be dangerous too, even though you care about them. Like I would never let my child go walk up to a homeless person and give them money now. But when I was younger, we could walk up to homeless people. We knew who they were almost. You know what I mean? Compared to, I know in East LA it's a little different, but even in East Los, I know that they migrate more into downtown, but you know what I mean? Just because there's more like resources for them. Because the farther you get it east, the less shit there is for
Yeah, I
anything.
mean, but even like in those yeah, you kind of have the same ones, right? So you already know like who's on the
Yeah.
street.
Or the
You
heroin
If it's the
addict, or
same, yeah, you kind of like already know like what's up, like who you're dealing with. Like, oh no, he's cool, like he doesn't trip, or that guy's crazy. Like when you see him, like go the other way,
yeah,
things
exactly.
like that. But I mean, it's so bad now, like all around. Like it's
Exactly.
real sad. Yeah.
So let's change the topic a little bit, just a little bit. So how is it being a mommy in this a mommy and a woman, and then like also doing kind of this other, this world where one day, you're a mommy, and the other day you gotta turn it on and be, you know what I mean?
I mean, it's hard. It's not even hard in the fact that it's the hard because the way people look at you, it's hard. Like
Yeah.
I think like I started getting into the industry when I was like 18 years old. Like that's the first time I ever modeled. I got into go-go dancing at that age. Like that really set me into that world. And then at like 25, I got pregnant, and I was in a relationship for 10 years with, I had an ex-husband, and, everything stopped. Like my whole world stopped, everything. And then, that ended. And just in 2019,
Oh
I was
shit.
like, all right, like this
And
is
I'm
everything.
back.
Yeah, I was like, this is everything. This is what I want to do. Like, not necessarily that, but I mean, I wanted to be an actress. So I was like, it's now or never. Like, I'm
Yeah.
going to do it, or
I
I'm not
still
going to
got
do it.
it.
I don't know about that. Like, it's hard. Like, I'm essentially
Hey,
like a normal girl. And now, like, 10 years later, you have like the Instagram girl that's like the thing now with everything done and all that. Like, it's a lot of pressure. Like, and I'm older, older, not
yeah.
older.
Those would
And
be hollering though.
so it's hard, but I feel like it's only hard because people will only always see mothers as a mother first. They always want to put you in that box where like you're a mom and you should be living by the mom standard. And when you do that, like shame, shame, shame. And that's like, it's like, wait a minute. First of all, I'm a woman first. An
Exactly.
individual. Like I was a person before I had kids. I'm gonna be a person after I have my kids. And me and my mothering has nothing to do with that. Like I'm with my kids. Everything I do is for my kids, you
Of
know,
course.
everything, every opportunity, everything, like they're always in the back of my mind. Anytime I do something, of course, I want them to be proud of me and I want them to see me in a good light. But I also don't want them to think that any sort of self expression, whether it's modeling, whatever, and see it in a negative way, especially towards women, you know, because I have a son and I have a daughter. So I have to
Oh,
raise
nice.
a daughter and I have to raise a son, and that's like two totally different things, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that what does he say? As long as it doesn't matter what they say, as long as you know. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And you know what you're doing it for. So it's like, you know what I mean? And I think the people that are like in this period where we're on this, everybody's talking about energy and this and that, but it's true. Everybody that's on this kind of vibe is gonna like things attract to each other. You know, it's not just sexually, it's also spirits and also good vibes and good business relations and good, you know, if you're in a good place, I just tend to think that things based on attraction, you know what I mean? In that way. And it could be negative too. You want to start like for me, I had to leave LA because I was on tour with Bruno Mars, all these people. I was getting caught with, or they were getting caught with coke, and like I just can't believe I didn't go to prison or jail or anything. I was a fool. Like I was like a coke dealer in Hollywood basically. But I mean, it's a long, long time ago. But you know what I mean? And so it can take you to the dark side, right? You can start attracting things like that. And even the photographers in Hollywood go to rehab. I had to go to rehab, girl. I was in a rehab in El Monte after that. Shout out to El Monte. They let me live. But
Yeah, it's tough, you know. There's a standard. There's definitely a standard, and I feel like it's as much progress as, you know, we feel like we've made as women. Like we're still so far from being able to like step out of that box, you know. People always want to put you in a box. And
oh
I
hell yeah.
hate the box. It's like don't stick me in there like I'm
Yeah,
so
I be trying to wiggle out that
smart.
motherfucker.
Yeah,
They be
no.
trying to say, "Oh, you're from up north. You're from," but I was like, "But I was born down south. But you did this. But I'm half Irish. But this. But they're like, bro, you can't put me in a box. You don't even know. But you look Hawaiian, bro. But our people,
But
they
you
thought I'm from Maui, nigga. I'm like, bro, the Mexica Aztec people did this haircut for a long, very long time, and the people before them, the Olmecs, did it for a very long time. And when the Olmecs were around, more or less, there was no people on those islands. So not to disrespect them, but just that the thing is like we don't even know our own culture, right? We know what's going on with the Kardashians, but we don't know who like you know, and no disrespect, right? But like I wouldn't have known who like this is Xochipilli, this is Quetzalcoatl. These are our ancestors, these are our gods. The reason why we put our hair up is to honor, and every day you tie your hair up, you're tying your hair up and you're putting it up, you're honoring your God, and you're kind of like saying, that and
yeah.
then on the other side in the Christian Bible, on my Irish side, the Bible says men that follow God grow their hair. So that's my personal thing. Trust me, I used to be pelon. I don't even like this, but this shit, girl, like it's a situation. You feel me?
Yeah, it looks like
I
it
don't
was
want to
a
take it out.
little
It'll be
rush.
like it'll take up the whole screen, but I do it because I believe. So how do you? That's the question I have is how do you go into this world where they try to make you fuck, question your character. They try to make you compromise who you are. You know what I mean? At any moment they try to do that. They did it. I compromised myself, and it really hurt me. I'm just being honest, and I had to go through all this stuff. So how do you work in that? You know what I mean? Because it's kind of it's easier to compromise yourself than to keep saying I'm gonna be this way. I'm not gonna do that no matter what they give me or you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, like I feel like just because of what I had to go through as a kid and my struggles, like I feel like I figured out, I'm not gonna say I figured out who I was completely, but I definitely learned at a young age like who I was. And I feel like that is super important. Like knowing who you are, one going in, because if you don't know who you are, like you're gonna be, people are gonna try to pull you either which way, right? You have to have real tough skin. Not to say that I don't break at times or, things don't get to me or, I don't feel some type of way, but I'm definitely, I mean, just, yeah, I think just knowing who I am, like
And that's
knowing,
the other part though. I feel like also going in as a mother now. I mean, how many lessons do we learn? I mean, I bet I've seen a woman become a mother and that shit is gangster. You feel me? Like immediately just it created the whole like I'm on a whole new shit now because I watched, I had to sing for 4 hours in the pregnancy because I used to sing to her stomach and it calmed her. So I sang for 4 hours and it felt like 4 minutes. I felt like a motherfucking superstar. Like being a parent, like I'm a gangster fool. I'll murder 15 people to protect my daughter. Like it
yeah,
gives me I feel like I have a superpower and like that and also like every time I see a vato that I want because I'm a aggressive man and I like violence, I'll be honest. And so every time I see somebody that I feel like I'm not gonna be able to talk to them. I want to pick them up and drop them, but then I think, is this conversation, is this person, is any of this worth not seeing my daughter in the, tomorrow? And it just helps me. It's like so amazing. I knew I was gonna have a daughter. I needed
Yeah, I mean,
that.
honestly, like I always say, like my son definitely he changed my whole world, like I didn't even know I hadn't even held a baby before I
Me
held my
neither. I
own
used to be
child,
scared of
it's
them.
like,
And when I
and
got
then
mine though, I was like, give me my baby.
no, I was like tripping out because I was like, like I just, people ask me like, well, didn't you feel like the pressure? I was like, I was 25. Hell no, I didn't feel the pressure. Like kids weren't even on my list. Like there was so many other things that I wanted to do with my career. Like I was super on a path, and having him and being in the relationship that I was in totally changed me. And I felt like, I had to go, I had to be, not that I had to be, but I got broken all the way down till the point where like you have nowhere else to go but to rebuild yourself. And my kids were definitely that driving force. Like they're the ones that helped me get up when I didn't want to get up or get motivated, or there's no other option. Like there's no choice. Like I have two people that depend on me. Like what am I gonna do, lay down and surrender? Like no, like that's just not an option. Like
And
it's
they don't
not
got a
gonna happen.
pause button. They don't got a pause button. I looked everywhere. There's no pause buttons on them at
No, my
all.
kids are like, "Ah,"
If you think about it though, but think about it, I could turn this phone off, I could turn this light on that's shining, I could turn, you know what I mean? I could turn, but you can't turn your kids off the show.
oh
Especially when they
no.
start talking, it's on.
No, my kids are nonstop. Like my mom, I'm like, but I love it. Like when they're not here, like I miss them, like, and I work hard for them. And, like I have to talk to them. Like, I don't talk to them like kids. Like I tell them like, look, like you guys are my team. Like, are we going to do this? Like, you believe in mom? Like, you guys got my back, like, we're going to make it together. Like everything that you want and you dream, like we're gonna have it. Like just believe in me. Like I tell them, like, you believe in mom, like believe in mom. Like mom's got you. Like give her some time. Like, but she's gonna make it happen. They'll be like, yeah, we believe in you. And I'm like, oh, they believe in
Yeah.
my team.
I know. It's just crazy. Sometimes my daughter can just look at me, like, directly in the face. I'll be like, she'll, be moving around, but then she'll just look right at me. I'm like, oof. And I'm like, I'll leave.
Right?
Sometimes I'll even look away because it's just so powerful. You know what I mean? I'm like, wow, okay, I'm starting to understand there's something to this thing. Like there's a
Yeah.
reason. There's a reason you start to have kids and you stop looking at your parents and you start looking down at your kids. You feel me? And it's like a different thing because I thought the biggest love of my life has been my mother. I'm a mama's boy. You know what I mean? And even we've got through our stuff. We actually sat down and like restored justice with each other. You feel me? And like, and we're close as fuck. Everybody knows it too. So, but when
Yeah.
I have my daughter, it's like my mom. I don't even know where you're at, mom. Like, you know what I mean? And even me sometimes. We're
That's
both like